bigger hand in it. We did, yeah, I did have a hand in it, and it's really a proud venture, especially in these days now. So it's even more important considering the what's going on right now in the world. It's lots of great information.
Right. And what was your role as far as, did you write a chapter in the book? I know you wrote the appendix. Yeah.
Yeah. We had an appendix, and we have had, Tom and I have had a long relationship in terms of property management, and what I work with TJ Lagring, who's Tom's son, and so we've always looked at as the property management, arm of the business as something that is a real great opportunity for people. And, Tom is very interested in presenting opportunities for people. So, we sort of got together and brainstormed about how this could be an opportunity for individuals looking to create either change their life, create another branch of their life, sort of expand themselves, their horizons, and as well as for our company, because we have the ability to shrink and grow, which is really a fantastic thing about this business, is that you can make it whatever you want to make it.
Very true, very much so. And so in the process, I know you've been around Tom for quite a while. What's been your experience in working with him?
Well, something, he's really dedicated to helping individuals, just giving them the tools, not so much not a handout, but a hand up, and giving people the tools. And he has seen, in the course of his working experience, he's seen a lot of people been able to grow and flourish and create really nice life for themselves, or change the life that they're in. I mean, he does a lot of volunteering, and he helps people to find a different path if that's what they want. And he does a lot of mentoring, works with children. He's an incredibly active person. I don't know where he gets his energy from.
I don't know. He's an amazing human being, isn't he?
Yeah, he's incredible. The amount of energy, he just doesn't stop. He's up early in the morning. He puts me to shame. I thought that I was a type A, but there's one level up from that. So.
Yeah. And what impact has he personally had on your life?
Well, I mean, just in terms of leading us, leading myself and my family, even us moving from, we were in California, and there was an opportunity that was presented when he branched out into Arizona. And so he presented it to me, and we, were able to make of it whatever I needed it to be. So we moved out with my family, and my whole world was changed. It's completely different. My kids were able to go to, better schools where we were in California, and we've just had a much richer life. And then always had the ability to have opportunity in front of us, whether that comes from, growing the business, taking on investments, working with other people, also networking and meeting great people, helping owners that have investment property that we've been able to, see through good times and bad. I mean, we've been around since the real estate, the crash of the real estate market, and we survived that. And we helped owners survive that, get to the other side of that. So it's very rewarding, and it takes brainstorming experience. So there's been a lot of personal growth from that, because Tom's been around the block a few more times than I have. Oh, he's the person to go to.
Yes, he is. And your life has been so enriched as a result of all of that process, that it's so, by his leading by example, he impacts a lot of lives. And in turn, you get to do the same thing.
Absolutely. He definitely does. And then hopefully I pay it forward, and as it, follow his example. And my children, have gone on to, they came here when they were just entering high school when we moved to Arizona, and then graduated from college, and now they're doing wonderful things with their life. And my daughter is a counselor. My son is a special education teacher in the Peoria Unified School District. And
Beautiful.
so, yeah, so we have just lots of positives, tremendous amount of positives.
So from the book that I know you have undoubtedly read it more than once, and
Sure.
the different rewrites, what is your biggest nuggets that you took away from that book?
Well, I think that it's empowering, and it does. The takeaway for me is that if somebody is willing to willing to just take charge of their life, to break free of the fear, and the good thing about the book is that it comes with mentoring, comes with some free mentoring. So
Yes,
it
that's
really does
amazing.
allow people to break away from that fear. And there's really, if you think about it, not a whole bunch to be afraid of, because there is, other than following some steps, you can pretty much start with, financially, time investment, yes, but unlike other major changes that people make in their life where they have to invest or go into a franchise or something of that nature. That's not here, and you don't have to jump ship from your old, your job or what you were doing before. This is a slow and steady, or fast and steady, depending on the person, an opportunity for transition, and then to step back and look at where you are and then move forward or grow or stay comfortable where you are. I mean, it gives, and there've been a number of people that get excited about it and say, hey, I can be in charge of my own destiny. I don't have to be going and working hard, making money for somebody else. I can do it for myself, and with a flexible schedule. For me, that probably was one of the most important things, because when I first moved here, I had high school age children, as I said to you before, and when you're a mom, flexibility
It's
has
key.
tremendous value. It's key.
Yes.
It's key. It really is key. So I got to actually enjoy my family life because of decisions that I was guided through, which was, unbelievable.
True blessing. And so you're working the bulk of your work. You are property manager right now.
Correct. That's right.
And what does property management entail in as far as where you're concerned?
Well, what my main goal is to bring on a property. Owners will come to us and they have a property, self-explanatory, that needs to be managed. Well, what it means is that we wrap our arms around it. The first thing that we do is ask owners what their goals are. Are they buying it to sell it in a year? Are they looking at long-term retirement income? They want to leave it to their children. Are they undecided and they don't even know what the options there are? There are some people that just don't know. There are a lot of people that don't know what the rental market is, for example, which is always changing. It is headed in a positive direction. It's funny, we've taken on properties from owners that thought that the rents were stagnant, and they'll bring on a property and say, hey, I was wondering if you could manage this, and I'm renting it right now. I have a tenant in there who's, let's say, for example, paying $600 a month when the house could easily rent for $1,200 a month. And they're just, the shock and relief, because sure, if they bought it a while ago and they were, quote unquote, underwater, where they weren't even covering their expenses and they were taking out of their own pocket and struggling to just get by and hold on to that significant investment, then they get to decide where they're, it's just amazing. And it's so gratifying to have owners that come back and they're just so appreciative, because now they're sort of, being able to, get some of that, recoup some of their losses that they've had to take. Some people have, emptied out their savings and things like that. So that's really nice. And then just this quick side story. The other day, I got a phone call from a gentleman who wanted to rent his house out, and he said he was referred by one of our management clients. And management clients, well, you have to call them because they made a lot of money for me. And I thought, that's fantastic. That, a lot of times, sometimes people won't actually call you and give you the compliment, but it's nice to know that that's what's being said, and that's what's being perceived, and that's our goal. On the other side of it, we have tenants that while we don't work for the tenant, we basically work with the tenant. And so they don't, our salary, our money, that we earn comes from the owner. But, we really have a role with tenants to guide them also. And many tenants, don't even realize that they can be transitioned into being an owner. If we help them with their credit, we help them develop a strategy. We've had a couple of tenants that have actually bought the property that they were renting, and it was a total win-win for them. Things like that are just tremendously gratifying along the way.
Yes. Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, I so appreciate your taking the time. I know you've had a busy, busy day, and it was hard to kind of get all the connections made.
Yeah.
But
we always have a busy day, but something, that is so much better than sitting home trying to find something in this industry. Yeah, in this industry, you can always find something to do and a way to keep yourself busy and earn, and be an income earner. I mean, there's lots of stuff to do. There's different things that somebody can do when they go into it. There's all sorts of roles that people can play when they get involved. There's leasing agents. There are people that can do, that can oversee maintenance. There are people that can be, just bringing on additional property salespeople. There's so many different things, and everybody has their talent. Some people don't know what their talent is, but when they get around the right people that can kind of assess what's going on and say, hey, did you, how about looking at it this way? And again, I can't repeat enough times. It's so great because you don't really have to jump ship from what you're doing. It's basically like you can get into the pool without jumping into the deep end right away. You can just, go down the stairs and do it little by little, and then it could be great. And if it's something that's not, which, if you're working it the right way and you're doing things the way like I said, with the mentorship, I can't imagine that it would be, but if for some reason your circumstances change, you didn't outlay all this money, and then you just lost it. So I can't think of a better thing to do to just, broaden your horizons.
Well, I think that a lot of people have this viewpoint that property management, the nightmares of repairing a house and keeping things up and, all of that. And it sounds like there's a lot of different roles that can be played in that arena. There are, and there's a lot of my clients that are, my managed clients, investors, they really, there's a difference between managing and professionally managing. And a lot of that has to do with how you bring a tenant in, setting up realistic expectations, making sure that the contracts are written correctly, who's responsible for what, making sure that you have the documents in place so that if something breaks, I'll give you a perfect example. At a single family house, if a tenant rents the house and the kitchen sink gets stopped up, there are management companies that'll actually send a plumber and charge the owner for that. How? When the owner didn't clog up the kitchen sink, but you have to have the right documents. You have to have the lease has to be written correctly, and that's just a little tidbit, one little thing. Just and then really making sure that when you bring a tenant on, that you let them know what's expected for them. And it's very surprising. It's often very surprising, and my owners are surprised that tenants will rise to the occasion as long as they know what the rules are. But you have to tell them. Right.
So it's not as much of a nightmare as people think it is. It's a matter of communication. And another perfect example of communication is what we're going through right now with this sudden tremendous amount of unemployment and people that are jobless. One of the things that we do as professional property managers is we gathered all of the important information, a lot of helpful information on where to go, where to turn to. Even I've helped people apply for unemployment, giving them job lists. I mean, it's almost like we take on a parental role. But here we are on, what is it, the 23rd of April, and every single one of our tenants is virtually completely paid up. Some of them have a small balance that they've made an arrangement to pay. But, early on when this started happening, I was getting calls from owners saying, what are you going to do? What's going to happen? Calm down. Let's, and you know, it was communication, and I'm very proud of that. I mean, we've really done a good job, as I said, the 23rd, and we're looking at mostly everybody with a zero balance. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Wow. Well, you've been trained by the best, and that shows.
Yes, that's right.
And
that's true.
thank you so much for your time today. And for anybody listening, go ahead.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, for anybody listening, take the time and check out this book that has been written. It's a lot of wisdom within the pages. It's a workbook that you can kind of work your way through. And even if you get the Kindle, there's some downloadable sheets that we've provided through the Kindle. So thank you, Margaret. It was delightful to meet you finally. I've heard all about you from Tom and Janet and all the others, but it was delightful to meet you. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Take good care.
Take good care. Thank you. Have a great day.